Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat this morning. Let me tell you, I had the honor of sharing some screen time here in an interview with Zhana. And I want to welcome you to the call this morning, Zhana. Thank you so much for taking time to do this with me.
Thank you, Don. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really pleased and honored to be here.
Yes, it is. It's magical when we get to share our stories with other people and raise an awareness for them. Now, what was it that initially attracted you to this technology?
Well, the very first time when I heard about this was when I saw Dave Prosser talking on a video, and it really caught my attention, and I just loved what I heard, and it really resonated with me. And especially when Dave was talking about the stem cells and how they're being activated just by placing a patch on the skin, and especially by knowing that this technology does not it is not a pill that a person has to swallow or injection to be injected, because a lot of people don't like that, and especially me. So I really love that about the technology, and that was what really attracted me to the technology. But if I can share something with you and with everybody, because uh, I I have some knowledge about the stem cells, since I have survived the unimaginable when my daughter passed away. She was only 6.5 years old when she passed away, and she was diagnosed with cancer when she was 2 years of age, and it's really hard to talk about this, but we spent 4 years and a half in hospitals, and Leah, my daughter, she had her stem cells, her own stem cells were like stimulated, so she to produce a lot of stem cells. So then with a big machine they were harvested, filtered from her blood, and stored, frozen, stored for when she needs them. And she had to have quite a quantity of this. So every time she had the chemo, stem cells were given, her own stem cells were given to her back to help her recover from what was going on, and from the chemotherapies, especially because she was very little and she needed really strong help to manage this. So then I really learned about stem cells and how important they are, and I saw her every time recovered so well after her own stem cells were given back to her. So I got to learn a lot about the stem cells. And when I heard that the patches activate your own stem cells, that really, really took my attention. And I said, this is really miraculous. So our body is designed to heal itself, and it's built to heal itself. So the only thing we need is to give it, to not interfere with our healing process, and anything that will give a hand to our healing, I'm very much up for it. And the patches are incredible technology. So I'm so grateful for this technology.
Wow. First things first, I'm so sorry to hear about the story in regards to losing your daughter. That's a very
Mm.
difficult thing. Thank you for the honesty on that front to share that publicly with a bunch of people who will view this who don't know you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that courage.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to me as well. Thank you so
It,
much.
it's powerful. So you came into this with an incredible belief in stem cell and our own body stem cells and how they help us in positive ways. Do you have any personal experience of your own with the technology that you'd like to share?
Yes, I would love to share. So me personally, I'm feeling really healthy, and But I was experienced a few things, like for example, since I remember myself, and I have done some blood tests, I knew that I'm anemic. So all my life I've been suffering with anemia. That means that my hemoglobin was really low. And I haven't always, I sometimes doctors were prescribing to me iron tablets to take, but I never was really, um, I didn't like taking any iron tablets. So I was being okay the way I was. I guess I just get used to being anemic. And but I had to had an operation done not long ago, and some blood works were done. And before the operation, that's how I knew. I knew I was feeling great, because I've been patching for 4 months. And so when the blood works were done, the bef- and I went for the pre-ops for the operation. The doctor asked me questions like, "Do you suffer with anything?" and all the pre-ops were the pre-ops question. And I said, "Well, I'm anemic. That's what I know." And she said, "Well, you're not. Your hemoglobin is 13." So that was a really, real, because usually I've been like 9.5. And how I know that, because since we were passing with our journey with Leah, my daughter, I always wanted to donate blood, because I know how important. Leah had many transfusions given to her through her journey. So I wanted to donate blood to help others, since my blood group is zero, and I know that zero can help all the other blood groups almost. So I wanted to donate, but never. That's how I knew actually I was anemic, because every time I wanted to donate blood, they couldn't take blood from me because I was anemic. So then, the long story short, when I I realized that I'm not anemic anymore, and I wasn't taking any iron tablets, so I'm just giving it to the patches. So brilliant, brilliant, yes. So
Wow.
that's good with me. And the other thing I want to share is, because I'm a beauty therapist, and I work in my salon, and I work with laser, and I do like laser hair removal, and I work many hours, like I'm holding the head of the laser, and I'm with this position. And for many years, always doing repetitive the same movement. I was feeling my nerve here, the carpal tunnel, was inflamed. It was pulling, and it was over a year. So I realized that this pulling and this sensation, which was started to be quite more than uncomfortable, after 2 weeks of patching, that sensation was gone. So I'm really grateful for that, because now I can move. And I also want to share that I do yoga every day, and like for the past 10 years. But even with yoga, I had this inflamed. But with the patches, after 2 weeks, and now it's gone, I'm working good, and my hand is fine, and I just feel great. The nerve is not inflamed, so I'm so grateful.
Wow.
Thank you.
Those are great stories. Absolutely incredible, really. I
Thank
say often, and I shared it, Dave said it yesterday in an interview he did with me, that I'm no longer surprised by some of the things that people share with us, but I'm always still incredibly amazed at the variation of stories and the things that people experience with this. So if if I asked you, what would you share with the people out there right now who may listen to this and are hesitant or wondering if they should, try this? What would your advice be? What would you share with the audience?
Well, with a pure heart, I can say just go for it, because that cannot harm in any way. That's for certain. The patches are transdermal, so the patches are great. And uh, just do it. Yes, it's great. And I think it's just, if once we know this information and that the patches exist and they're available, I mean, it will be really, um I don't know what word to use, but I think it's a must. It's not even although it's an option, nobody is forced to do anything.
Yeah.
But knowing how good this is and how helpful, I think that everybody should try. I wish to also share how incredible the technology is with everyone I know. Absolutely, yes.
Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't know about you, but I sit here in awe listening to a woman's story and how her understanding of stem cell technology plays a significant role, and stemming from a very sad story in the loss of her daughter, but some of the technology that was being developed and her daughter experiencing, just comfort every time she had to go through chemo and was injected with her own stem cells that had been harvested, uh, brought her some degree of comfort. So, Jana, I just want to take a minute to just commend you on the incredible courage you've shown here, the great news stories that you're sharing with the world, and on behalf of the entire team and collaborative platform that we're working with here, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Don. I really appreciate for having me and also being able to share my stories. Thank you from the heart.
Thank you, Jana.
Thank you.